Welcome to the Hidden Orchard podcast, a radical exploration of spirituality, science, and the Bible from a Jewish perspective. Each week we'll look at a new topic and dive deep into the texts that inspire and enrich our lives. So whether you're a seasoned expert or just curious about a topic, there's something for everyone. So sit back, relax, and we'll get to today's episode in a bit. But first, if you haven't done so, visit thehiddenorchard.com and subscribe. It's free, and you'll receive access to content and weekly emails. There you can also subscribe for a paid membership and get access to everything on the site and be the first to hear about online study opportunities where you can meet and interact with other people on the journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have an idea for a topic, reach out to me at thehiddenorchard.com. Now, let's get to today's episode. In this work, I want to share a simple and important teaching from Rav Ashlag on how receiving and giving can be fundamental components of soul refinement. Of the four major schools of Kabbalistic thought that branch from Rabbi Isaac Luria, Rav Ashlag is mentioned as the fifth. If you've ever noticed, it's often the simplest and the easiest things that we overlook that make the biggest impact on our growth. It's the irony of how the world has been created, and this is the key. It's the things we don't expect or didn't plan for, or the little things we're not paying enough attention to that can become the most powerful catalysts of our progress. However, more often than not, we tend to seek out the loftiest and the hidden concepts, the newest trends, and the most significant milestones we think will lead us forward. But it's the everyday things, the almost subconscious actions that truly propel us. One of the most powerful aspects is found at the interaction points in how we engage with the world. This is the give and the take of how we interact with others, the cycle of how we receive and what we do with that which we've been given. This is important to know because this is where our soul, the neshama, expresses itself in the world of physicality. For this reason, the Bible demonstrates the importance of giving. But before you get nervous about where I'm going with this, giving can mean more than simply financial support. We can give to others through our attention, letting others benefit from things we pass on, serving, hosting, helping, praying for, and other means of sharing our resources and our time. Though for the sake of simplicity, let's stick to the metaphor of money for a moment. For many people, the idea of giving means donating large sums of money to organizations in need. With this ideal in mind, giving in small amounts almost doesn't seem to compare. And considering most of us do not have large sums of money lying around, we may hold out on giving until we strike it rich and can afford the former approach. The secret is this, however. The amount is not the part that elevates us. It's the practice of putting resources back into the world and the intention by which we do it. When executed correctly, it becomes an opportunity to draw down spiritual energy we may not have accessed otherwise. On the other hand, if we focus on the wrong aspect, it is possible to give incredibly large amounts of money with no spiritual power behind it. In his teachings, Rav Ashlag identifies four developmental stages of receiving and giving. All of these are based on the premise that the Creator gives for us to share with others. We receive so that we can give. Stage 1, giving for one's own benefit. The first type of giving is giving with the expectation of personal gain, whether it be material benefit, recognition, praise, or even spiritual reward. In other words, giving with expectations. While this type of giving is often criticized for being self-serving, Rav Ashlag suggests it's actually a valid starting point in the journey of spiritual growth. In stage 1, we begin to understand the mechanics of giving and receiving, establishing a preliminary connection with the Creator through action. Through stage 1 giving, we begin to awaken to the interconnectedness of actions and outcomes. Stage 2, giving for the sake of giving. In stage 2, giving is performed without the expectation of receiving. If the entire world reached this stage, life would be dramatically different and for the good. By giving without expecting anything in return, one aligns more closely with the nature of the Creator, who gives without any expectation of receiving whatsoever. This is a challenging evolution, though, as it progresses towards true altruism. This form of giving also purifies the soul, the nefesh, and, to a degree, the ruach, as it battles the impulse to acquire. And it also battles the influence of the Yetzer Hara, some topics we've covered at the Hidden Orchard. New Testament readers might recognize this concept from a familiar parable in the Gospels, the not letting the left hand see what the right hand is doing. Stage 3, giving to benefit others. Stage 3 type of giving is more complex. It involves giving to another to benefit them. Author Yadida Cohen connects this stage with Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, that is Leviticus 19:18, loving your neighbor as yourself. Unlike the prior stages, there's an underlying intention to do good for the other that is driven by a desire for mutual spiritual elevation, rather than personal gain. The inclusion of motives here, it's a subtle addition, and it needs some intention to guide these motives on the right path. For instance, giving because you know someone has a need, and you expect nothing in return, is the right direction. However, giving because you desire to see them react in a particular way, because you did a good deed and you expect gratitude, that's stage 1 giving. Through this level of giving, one learns the concept of affinity with the Creator, where one's actions further mimic the Creator's at a higher level, where giving becomes an act of spiritual co-creation. Stage 4 giving. Giving for the sake of the Creator. The highest form of giving is very complex, but might be best summarized as giving for the sake of, or as a result of, unification with the Creator. So what do I mean by this? In the Kabbalah, this is often known as ratzon lehashpia, the will to bestow on others. This level of giving is about recognizing that everything comes from and returns to the Creator. It requires a great deal of emunah. In stage 4, one becomes a conduit for divine flow, giving because it's an expression of the Creator's will, not their own will. Stage 4 giving can lead to complete self-nullification in time, where the giver and the act of giving become one with the Creator. Here, the divine will and our personal will are in alignment. As you might imagine, this level is extremely challenging to reach, but at least we have a map to get us here. So in conclusion, the best way is to get started. Begin with small steps. Give a little, often. This practice was reflected through the Lubavitcher Rebbe's custom of giving $1 bills. Though a dollar may have gone a little further in his time than it does today, the development of the spiritual practice is still achieved nonetheless. Each of the stages of giving serve as a stepping stone, refining the soul and aligning it more closely with the nature of the Creator. That's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this topic. Remember, you can find more information at thehiddenorchard.com. If you liked what you heard, please leave a review and share this podcast with your friends. We don't really engage in marketing, so it's word of mouth and references like that really help spread the word. Also, I want to say thank you to those who subscribe to the site and those who support the Hidden Orchard Project financially. Without you, it wouldn't be possible, so thank you. Thanks to everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.